Alakaʻi Lawelawe to me is, being a leader and you're serving something bigger than yourself. And I think as an adult, as a haumana, anybody, you have to figure out what that is. What is that thing that is bigger than who you are? But it's not only serving that bigger purpose, but it's how you do that. When to be the leader and step up and lead the people. When to take a step back with somebody else has maybe a little bit more knowledge, or how maybe you need to be part of that group to help collaborate. So it's understanding too your role and when to lead and when not to lead, and how to do that in a cohesive way that you're still serving that greater purpose that you have. I think when I think to my role now as a Po'o, and I used to be a curriculum coordinator or dean of learning and a Kumu, I think it's always identifying. Anybody can be a servant leader in any position you have. You don't have to be the Po'o or the headmaster. You can do it, as a person who is working at Starbucks, or if you're a teacher, or if you're a nurse. There's different ways that you can lead, and you have to understand who you are, and you also have to understand your environment and identify those different places and ways that you can lead. Maybe in the classroom, you're leading in ways of trying to be innovative with your curriculum and trying some new things. Or it's, maybe bringing some ideas to your team about, how to address a problem that's happening with your grade level, and trying to work on, improving the environment of the school. So there's different ways that you can do that. I think it's first understanding what your space is, what your pilina is to that space and the people in that space. And once you have that, then you can start to develop that leadership, style. But, part of Alakaʻi Lawelawe, as I was thinking about it too, it does take time. It can't happen overnight, because that pilina aspect is so important, and that takes time to develop. Like, I think about when I was a teacher and I taught in my four walls, and I worked with my team, and I knew how we function as a team. When I went to the Dean of Learning position, now I work with all of the Kumu on campus and all of the leaders, and it's like, okay, now I understand a different part of the school and how it works, and my pilina with that. Now as a Po'o, it's a whole new world of developing pilina, not just with the students and the faculty, but also with the parents, right? And developing that pilina. And the pilina I've developed over time with the teachers and families and other administrators has helped me become a better servant leader because of that relationship. So that relationship aspect is very important, but understand for anybody who's wanting to reach this point, it is going to take time for you to get there. It helps define who you are, and anybody can do it. Anybody can possess that competency of Alakaʻi Lawelawe. Like I said, no matter what kind of job you have, what kind of role you have, whether you think you have that in you. Sometimes when you see the word leadership, you have this image of what that is, right? But I truly honestly believe that everybody can lead in their own different spaces. And I see that in different places, right? I see that with students and within their class, and you have that one that's the leader that really helps the class and helps the teacher. You see that in student government. You see that just around campus with different teachers, like supporting the newer teachers that even though they don't have to, they're doing that for them because that's their colleague. So I think it's important because everybody can possess that competency, and you don't have to be this image of what you think a leader is, because everybody has that in them. Like I said before, it depends on your relationships and your community and your environment and how you start to understand that to serve that place. What is that thing that you're serving that's bigger than yourself? And sometimes as an adult, you're still trying to figure that out, right? Is that God? Is that your religion? Is that your culture? Is that your family? And I think while you're here at Kamehameha Schools, whether as a faculty or a haumana, that's something I've had to learn being here for the past 14, 15 years. And I think that's something that everybody's gonna learn. What is that thing that's bigger than yourself? So I think it's, having exposures to different experiences at Kamehameha schools to help you identify what is that thing that's bigger than yourself. Because if you don't have that, then that Lawelawe part will not exist. How you get there, you may get there quickly because you have the right supports in place and your family and the right, motivations. And some people might take a little bit longer because they need more time. But that's okay to have that. But so long you understand that you're working towards something and you're trying to discover what that thing is that's bigger than yourself, then you're on the right track. Just being honest about where you are with that competency and talking about it with your colleagues, and sharing where you think your gaps are and where you think your strengths are. Because I think a lot of the progressions that we have to make is really going to come out of reflection and really being honest about ourselves, about where we are.